I am a third-generation farmer here in Marion County, Missouri, and Grandpa started this show in 1974, I think was the first year he was on it on his own, and Dad came back to the farm after his college education ended, and now I guess it's up to me. My name is Chase Goldinger, and I go to school at the University of Missouri, majoring in Ag Systems Management. I'm a junior here this fall, and I'm excited to farm. I was like every other young kid in the Midwest. I had toy tractors and I watched all about John Deere, but I really didn't care about the farm and farming and agriculture itself until I was in high school. My freshman year of high school, I became a part of FFA and I needed a project. Dad offered me a deal. He said, "Chase, are you gonna farm?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe." He's like, "Okay, I kind of need to know for business decisions and planning for the future." And I was like, "Well, you give me a week to think about it and I'll get back to you." So I hemmed and hawed for a week and I said, "You know what, we'll give this a try." I've done 65 acres for the day, not bad. Part of the deal I had was, okay, this farm is yours, you put the money up for it and you get the crops off of it, but you work for us and we don't pay you. That's our little trade. And I jumped in and I've never looked back. It's been amazing. I've really enjoyed agriculture and farming, especially with my family. Dad does the lion's share of the field work, and Mom is there for support. She makes sure that everything else runs. She made sure my sister and I both stayed alive when we were younger, because Dad was always in the field working to make sure that we had enough resources to make what we needed to happen. She gives rides to people, she makes us food, and that I really appreciate that after a long day. My sister has recently kind of developed an interest in agriculture, and Ella has expressed that she wants to farm alongside me after her college education, and that means a lot to me because that means that we can expand and grow even more. My dad and my grandpa both kind of have given me a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of drive along the way. Growing up, I watched them work hard, long hours away from me, away from the family, to give us a better future and to give me a better place to start out from. And that's kind of the goal of the generational farm thing. Each generation has a little bit easier starting out because of the struggles of the previous generation. I didn't understand quite how much work Grandpa had to do early on until I got some of the same equipment that he had, and I realized, oh man, this really isn't that fun if you're out here for days on end for 18 hours a day on a tractor with no cab. And it gets hot, cold, and everywhere in between. I have struggled a little bit to strike the balance between being a college student and farming for a living. It is hard knowing that everyone else that works with me and my family is out in the field getting something done, and I'm sitting in a classroom in Columbia staring at the board, just thinking and daydreaming about being in a tractor or a combine. But when I left, Dad told me, he's like, "Hey, we got it. We can make this work without you for a little while." Earlier this year when we set the front spacing on the wide front here on the 4020. So I started a YouTube channel in early 2020 called Goldinger Farms, of course after my family's farm name, and it kind of went from there. A couple of my friends in high school, that actually the same friends that I live with now in college, they heckled me a little bit. They said, "Hey Chase, it'd be really, really funny if you made a YouTube video about you farming." And I kind of laughed to myself, said, "Yeah, that would." In fall of 2020, I had 140 subscribers. That was it. I've kept going even when you think, man, nobody's watching these videos, I just need to quit doing this. And now here I am 2.5 years later with over 10,000 subscribers and 1.3 million views, and I'm thinking, wow, it is really funny how far this has gone, because I didn't think it would go this far. I really didn't. So if a younger person who wanted to start row crop farming or just get into agriculture in general, I'd say don't be afraid to take a risk, because the worst someone can tell you if you ask to rent their farm is no. It's okay to be told no, because that's the only way that you're gonna know if you can get it or not, is make the phone call, write the letter, just put yourself out there. and don't be afraid to make friends and get to know people, because that's the only way that you're gonna make connections, is if you put yourself out there. So in the future, I see myself farming, making deals, buying ground, buying equipment, and building something that someday, if my children so choose, that they can come back and do. In agriculture now, it's go big or go home. It's all about volume, it's about generating income. More now than it was in the past, it's about the legacy, and it's about being proud of who you are, what your family's done, and doing your part to help further that.